All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday, 6th of February SIG release weekly meeting. My name is Jeremy. I'll be the host today. Before we get going, just a reminder that this meeting is covered by the CNCF Code of Conduct. Basically means be excellent to one another. We are recording, so this will be available on YouTube later today. If you'd like to not be on camera or whatever, that's totally cool. Feel free to not come off mute or whatever. Thank you, Marco, for dropping the agenda into the meeting chat. If you could add your name as an attendee so we can keep track of who is here, that would be super great. And if anybody wants to volunteer to be our note taker today, that would also be super great. I'll be the host for today. Do we have anybody that's new that would like to introduce themselves? If you are new to this meeting and you'd like to say hello, feel free to come off of mute, introduce yourself, let us know why you're here, what you're interested in, and we would love to welcome you. If not, we will move on to our sub-project updates. We'll start off with release engineering. Marco, do you want to give those? I can give the updates for the patch releases if you'd like.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, cool. Patch releases are scheduled for next week, which will be the 14th of February. The cherry pick deadline is this Friday. So if anybody is looking to get cherry picks in, they need to be ready to go before Friday. We will be reviewing those things, so you don't need to ping us. It's an ongoing process, and we take a look at those. Does anybody want to take care of cutting patch releases? I can do that, or I can work with somebody from the branch management team that wants to take a look at those things. I can volunteer to kick them off and work with anybody else that wants to take a look at those if anybody's down for helping. All right, cool. Well, I'll start them off unless Sasha, you want to kick them off in the EU morning time, and then I can pick them up. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that's
right,
good.
cool.
Thanks.
All right, thanks. I think that'll be good teamwork. All right. Looks like we had somebody said they'd love to help in the chat. I will ping me on Slack and we can chat about how you can help us out with that, kind of monitor things. OBS packages is up next. No updates. I think that we're good there. I don't see Puerco for any supply chain security updates, so maybe we can follow up with that one offline. Artifact validation. Sasha, do you have any updates on that?
Yeah, so we were preparing, or we had a session on Monday where we were preparing a survey, which is right now, Lori has mentioned it in our Secolist channel. So everyone is open to give this draft survey a look and provide some review feedback about it. And when we are all happy with that, then we will send it out to the users, because this survey, comparably to the LTS survey, is much more focused on our work and what we want to achieve, and will be the foundation for our future release engineering work. I
Great.
can also link it in the chat. 1 second.
I just grabbed it from the SIG release channel and added it to the agenda. So action items for folks: take the survey or review the survey.
Just review. We will send it out later on.
All right. Cool. Any questions about that from anybody?
I would just like quickly to go, thanks to Lori for helping us with this and creating the first draft of the survey.
+1 to that. Lori is awesome. And I'll capture that. I'll capture that in the chat or in the agenda, so we have a record of it. Okay. Next up is release team. I think that Cat is out today. Cat added some updates in here. Nothing spectacular. Enhancements freezes this week. There's 73 enhancements so far, although I took a look at them. So it looks like some of them will probably be deferred. There's a fix to easy CLA in flight, and there's a tracking issue there. It's been a kind of ongoing recurring issue. And there's an additional issue to investigate how to better manage GitHub API responses. There's a tracking issue for that as well. Cool. Any questions that folks have for the release team that we can ask them asynchronously? All right, sounds good. And then open discussion. I had a quick one. Marco discovered there was an issue with the release notes tool. It turns out that that is because we rely on a cache. If you have a cache clone for generating release notes and you've used the revisions, it relies on having a clone of the repo so that it can resolve the tags to references. And if you are bouncing between repos, it doesn't always work because you've cloned that repo and maybe you're trying to use a different one now, like you've used Kubernetes in the past and now you're trying to use promo tools. If the remotes aren't the same, it just doesn't check them currently, so it doesn't behave properly. So we've got a fix for that. Somebody on my team worked on that on Friday. They were out on Monday, so try to open a PR for that today. TLDR, we're going to check for the remotes being the same and clean the cache if it doesn't match. Arno, you have another open discussion item. You want to take that away?
Yeah, I'm working on doing the migration of the release, one part of the release process to the community infrastructure. Basically, stop using the Google project we have currently and use the community one. So I found some KMSK in that project, so I'm wondering if we still use it. And my second question is in the code base of release, I see we do a Docker logging, but I can't find the Docker token for this. So most like open question during my investigation.
Okay, so open questions are the KMS keys still used? And probably the Docker Hub token isn't needed still? And where is it? Is that a fair summary? Go for it, Marco.
Also, I have like third thing. I also saw somewhere a function about related to Bazel builds. So I'm also wondering if you still need that function where we basically check if the build is done with Bazel or not. So I would drop the LOC for this.
Okay, Marco, go ahead.
Yeah, for Docker Hub token, there is a Docker Hub account registered to the private mailing list, I think. However, there are no credentials for it in one password. Maybe we could eventually ask Stephen if he has some idea about it. Eventually, we can reset the password and put it in the one password in our release engineering vault. That's one option. KMS keys are still used because we use, for example, KMS to save the GitHub token and credentials for OBS. So we are definitely still going to need that in the community cluster. Yeah, I guess for most of that stuff, only SIG release leads have access. But yeah, I think this is the context that I have the last time I dealt with this stuff.
about KMS, to be clear, I know we use KMS, but it's for in a different project. Like basically when I checked I put the link in the Zoom chat. Like I feel like I found other KMS keys, so I'm wondering if those are still used. So that's why I'm like, if we're not using that, that's fine for me.
Thanks. I was going to add that to the agenda. And this is the Anago key.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm wondering. I don't think we use that, but I just want to confirm that we don't use that anymore.
I don't think that we intentionally use this. Because, yeah.
Yeah, there's two
The
keys.
best way is that we try this.
Try this by removing them, or
I guess we will figure it out as we migrate to the new project.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't try to migrate this. And if it works in the new project without it, we try to destroy it.
Okay.
Okay. I captured that in the agenda as well.
Because if I remember about the Docker up token. I think I remember we were trying to bypass rate limiting during the release process. So I'm like,
that seems
how
like
we use that. Yeah, how we use that credential in the NOMAC release. Because when I look at the spec of the GCB build, I don't see the reference of the Docker token, and I'm questioning like, basically, if I want to add that token in the community-owned project, who I need to talk to. We can follow up async, but just that's like my question. I put the perma link for the Bezier function I found. So I'm like also wondering if we still need that.
Okay, cool. So we've got three kind of actions to follow up on. The Docker Hub thing, I think we need to check with Steven. And the Bazel thing we can track down. And then for the KMS keys, as Marco suggested, migrate to the new project without copying that Anago keyring over, see what breaks. Cool. Anybody have any other topics they want to go over? Thanks for the release, folks, in the chat. I don't think we have any questions, so nothing to follow up on there. It seems like everything's going well so far, as expected, or going as expected so far. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, we can call it an early meeting and give some folks time back for today. All right. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks.
See you, folks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.